1.
Alrighty then, hello, what's good everybody? We have Sonic Adventure 2 Dark Story A ranks. It's should be a really good time. I'm the man on comms, the Superior, and with us we have Drum Basher, the dude on the run.
Yeah, hello. I love this category. It's really cool. Dark Story All A ranks is kind of a blast from the past. You don't do the big final chase skip. You don't do the big cosmic wall skip. It's got a good amount of flavor, as I think some people would put it. You do some side quests during the stages. You can't die really, which I guess sucks. When you're like trying to get runs out, just one mistake and maybe your whole run's gone. But generally, it's a pretty stellar category that no one plays apart from me. So I'm going to try and show it to the world today. And also, we've hit the incentive for hintless hunting. We'll talk about that more when we get there. I'm using headset microphone poking out of my shirt today, so I'm not going to do too much talking. So, Superior, do you want to count us down and then talk some more?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Alright then, so yeah, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Cool. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. So, first stage we have Eggman, Iron Gate. Mech movement can be a little rough starting out, just because obviously when playing casually, you know, it's like turning can be a little rough. It's like a lot of like these camera guided turns and like these other stuff. You're gonna see Drum kind of doing a few jumps around some tighter corners. But yeah, no, to talk about it a little bit, again, we're doing Dark Story A rank, so Iron Gate, we're gonna need to get 20,000 points, 20,000 points for Iron Gate. And how we're gonna do that is with mech chains. So we see Drum actually waiting for the elevator a little bit so that we can get this about 9 chain here. The laser actually has a certain amount of time that it will stay active. It will not stay active forever. So just doing that just kind of makes it so that you have a bit more time to get as big a chain as possible. But these chains will, the bigger the chain, the bigger the point bonus, and that's going to help us out a lot in terms of getting these points. So another thing about it, the time bonus. So the time bonus, how it works is at max, the largest amount of points you can get is 10k, and that is if you finish the stage in either a minute or less. And after that, for every second, it goes down in an increment. And so that's, you know, we do a lot of like essentially kind of like math and a bit of point routing in terms of how fast we can complete the stage and what points we can get themselves. And that's generally the idea behind a lot of the A rank stuff. And it's really cool because if there's like the point routes can actually look really cool a lot of the time. Again, Drum described it as little side quests. It's like we're going really fast, but you know, maybe we get an extra lock-on bonus here. Maybe we shoot an extra enemy to the side there, but like still trying to go as fast as possible. But also sometimes we make mistakes. We're only human and we're in the run, and sometimes there's backup points and stuff like that to get that, you know, lose a certain amount of time, and we kind of essentially do this math in our head about what can and can't work in terms of backup points to the time bonus ratio. So yeah, again, if everything goes right, we would generally have 21.5k leaving this, and
yeah. I think an extra 500 from somewhere lately, and I don't know why. I struggled with the laser, like the rocket shot at the end there, which sucks. Maybe lost about 5 seconds. Generally, yeah, in Iron Gate, you generally try and do exactly the same movement as you would normally do, with the only difference being you skip the speed shoes route that you normally do, just in favor of getting more points. But the general movement, you try to do it exactly the same and just get points losing 0 frames, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And here we have Hotshot, very simple boss, just kind of going through, not too much going on here. And so we have an incentive that was met, so we are going to get some hintless hunting. And I know Drum wanted to talk about a little bit in terms of his thought process in the hunting, so I'll let Drum take over. But here we have Dry Lagoon, our first hunting stage, hintless.
Yeah, so there's 5 free pieces I can see at the start. Any so far? Nope. Okay, so we're using the radar. Okay, oh, spiral. Any? Oh, okay, cool. The radar's pinging. So there's about 100 pieces in every stage, like 35 piece 1s, piece 2s, piece 3s, etc. It is green pool piece 1. Cool. And wow, butterfly's treasure piece 3. Get it? Cool. 1 piece left. This is going pretty well already. This is definitely a set that you would want to take in a regular run. Gonna try going to the left, and yeah, Enchanted Pillar. Okay, cool. 39. That's not bad for Hintless. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
actually a great start. Great start so far. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it was definitely a little scary. We did a practice run of this to kind of like just kind of mess with stuff. And every stage except for Mad Space was around like 50 to a minute, and then Mad Space is obviously like a lot worse. So we'll kind of get to those when we get to those. But this will be a great start so far. But yeah, no, moving on now, we have our next mech stage, Sand Ocean. Incredibly fun to do, but also it is probably the hardest split in this run. It's a cycle-based stage, about 11 seconds-ish, 11 to 12 on the cycles. This first jump can be pretty difficult, about a 3-frame window there. We hit it, but again, this like little bits of side quests. There are a lot of moving enemies that we have to hit on the sides without losing a ton of time, and also attempt to hit this first cycle, which already can be difficult enough to do on its own, even without the A rank. And, you know, obviously, if you don't hit it at the end, I mean, again, it's a reset. And this stage is about 2 minutes long. We're probably going to hope to get it somewhere between, like, 151 to, like, 156-ish if, like, we get the cycle right, just depending on how the ending goes. But, yeah, no, this stage can be super tough to do, A rank especially.
There's the cycle.
Yeah, no. So that's the first big hurdle out of the way. Yeah, 35 seconds in, you saw that cycle. That's the one you want to hit to make sure. We're gonna shoot that gold beetle there, get us a few thousand. Again, just seeing these like extra point lock-ons that you just wouldn't see normally. Just kind of going through. Oh, I'm actually hitting the dynamite back. Thankfully, if we're gonna see this, we call it chow box jump here. We do hit it. We're gonna wait for some enemies to move around here, then jump down from there. Generally hitting chow box jump means that you will have a generally easy time of hitting the cycle. We'll see what happens here. It's really close. That was really close, but we did make it. Okay, there we go. Shoutouts to Melters. That's a nice little Melters jump for our troubles. We have another enemy chain to go, and we are going to see a little whistle glitch action coming up. So we are going to...
actually.
Oh, do we not need the whistle glitch? Oh, that's hype. That's hype.
Yeah. I didn't miss any points this time around, and so yeah, you just need that extreme, and you should be good on your way. Yeah, I did make a few mistakes before that second cycle. The second one was a lot more lenient. Fortunately, I was able to make it, but it was a pretty frame-tight jump still. Definitely clench.
Yeah, that was really scary. But yeah, no. So point requirement for this one, as we're gonna see, this one is 25k. I got mine. So if you get first cycle, 16k is about what's required. We have 16.8. There you go. That's gonna be it for Sand Ocean. Again, actually, probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest. There'll be another one that's really difficult that has like no room for error later, but we'll get to there. And now we have Shadow. So we have the speed stages. Super duper fun to play. Lots of fun movement and stuff, and you know, just little side quests. Funny thing about a lot of the speed stages is like they want you to be really stylish. There's like some like rail grinding, some other stuff, swinging off of poles. Ooh, the lube skip. We're feeling spicy today. But yeah, no. So as you see, Drum Basher chaining these spin dash chains, a very rhythmic set of B presses there in terms of our core movement. And in terms of charging the spin dash, obviously we have to hold B to get through the somersault to get to a spin dash, but we can also take advantage of that here by holding the B button as we're going through to activate storage, which means that it's just while we're charging the spin dash, we actually still have the somersault property before going in, which means that not only can we deal damage, but we are also just smaller, which means that we can go under that during the somersault and charge the spin dash at the same time, which is really nice. And now again, we saw that jump invincibility. So this is really cool. Drum did grab the invincibility there on purpose because you actually get double the amount of points as you normally would doing things with this. Yeah, this second jump can be really hard. And if you mess it up like that, oh my goodness, the camera just does not work with you. Drum backing it up really, really, really well here. We're going to do some nice rail grinding on this, you know, not the Golden Gate Bridge under construction, and that's really rough. So we were supposed to do a trick there and get an awesome. So I don't know how you want to back this up.
Okay, never mind.
Well,
okay.
We're gonna restart. Yeah, no, that is really rough there. So again, it's that was part of that little stylish bit. We were gonna do a fun little trick. Shadow was gonna do get some airtime, get an awesome. So yeah, we're gonna see a bit of this beginning again. Again, thankfully this is our first mess up. Again, Sand Ocean could have actually just had us bogged, but yeah, no, this is fine. We lost a lot of time there. It'll be cool. That means I didn't actually get to talk about a particular trick earlier that I'm a big fan of as we go. I was about to say shoutouts to the Gurp Beetle. We love Garrett.
Yeah, that is the thing about A ranks. You make one mistake, and if it's just the wrong kind of mistake, you have to go back to the start. Like, not all mistakes are equal in this category, and it sucks.
Yeah, it is really, really rough. So yeah, no. Coming up, we have the red Hondas, where again we're gonna do a little bit of a moonwalk. It was a little unfortunate that we missed it, but ooh, nice cyclist, yeah.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, we do a nice instant turnaround where we smack the wall, do a bit of a half circle on our controller, and Sonic and Shadow starts a moonwalk, and we basically just jam our back into that box with a spring, and we get to jump. Man, this jump is really getting you today. It can be really hard.
It genuinely is
not
hard.
The best. It is not the easiest jump to make in the world.
Okay, I'm going to just play it safe and get this golden beetle, because that's pretty much the alternative. The issue with a lot of A rank stuff is that if the optimal amount of points that a bunch of points that you want to get are at the end of the stage, then you essentially have to get them, and if you screw them up, you can't just go back because you're at the end of the stage. You can't get points later in the level if you're already getting the points later in the level as part of your budget. And that's what happens with Radical Highway. If you skip that golden beetle, you're basically telling yourself that you're going to get that awesome that I failed, basically. So that's annoying because it's like, oh, if I had made a different decision 3 seconds ago, then I wouldn't be in this position. But it's that speedrunning, baby.
Yep. Yeah, it's again, it's like you have to like weigh that risk reward on yourself of like, or are you gonna play it safe? And most of the time you are gonna hit that awesome, but then sometimes you don't, and you're like, man, why didn't I just take it?
Yeah.
It's only a few seconds. Alrighty though, but yeah, no, I'll let you take over as we do have our next hunting stage, Egg Quarters.
Yeah, this one is a little also straightforward. The hunting stages definitely get progressively more difficult when it gets to hintless. In this case, in Egg Quarters, the stages are circles, so you just run in a circle, and it will ping, but you still have to figure out where your piece is. And additionally, like in Dry Lagoon, don't read that hint, whatever. In Dry Lagoon, we saw a free piece 3 that was just hanging about. Oh, hello, the foreman. In Egg Quarters, there are guaranteed to be no pieces just chilling out and about for us to see, because the third piece is definitely going to be in the ground somewhere. So let's see, I'm going to run this way for the second piece. I'm pretty sure the second piece is going to be this way. Okay, I think I know what the piece 2 is, looking at this. Oop. Oh, okay, I hit the ceiling, and so I started to fall. Okay, is it not this one? Okay, so it is this one. Yeah, okay. That was my second guess. Okay, still not reading a hint. I'm probably going to go to the altar room now.
Yeah, this is almost certainly alto or red from this point, and yeah, so there it is. Dark Sonic.
Another good set, to be honest.
Yeah, no, not at all to play. I mean, that would be fine. Obviously, if we had hints, we'd play that a little faster too. So I mean, that's not a bad set at all. We've been getting some pretty good RNG here.
That is actually a gold split on my splits. I'm yet to have a good Egg Quarters since coming back to this category, and that was a 47 with hintless.
That's great. Alrighty though, we have Lost Colony. This stage is really cool. This is probably I don't know, isn't this my favorite mech stage if I play Dark normally? It is really fun. It's Drum's really good at it, so this will be a treat for you guys. But this stage has pretty chunky point requirements. So 34k. That's a lot more than what we've seen before. Again, these point chains are going to help us out a lot. But there's just a bunch of cool movement here as we go through. We're going to see just, again, a lot of the mech movement, turns guided by the camera, a nice quick hop if you need any kind of quick turn left or right. But yeah, we're going to see you get a few of those beetles in this room. Nice, cool for our troubles. But Lost Colony is the first place we're going to get a upgrade for Eggman, the hover. But first, not without getting one more thing as we go, one more chain. So yeah, now we can press A in midair and hover. This hover can be interrupted.
No. I actually was kind of not sure if that would work. So this platform right here fluctuates. It's on a global cycle, and if you run onto it while it is rising, then you can just run off of it and pause of it and make it across. That did not hit. But it's specifically only when it's rising, so it kind of sucks. But I noticed that it was rising, and I was like, oh, okay, bet. But I then kind of was like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, so I backed out of it a bit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like no, I saw you do it. I was like, oh, we are feeling spicy today. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, what we saw there was Drum using the hover while rising, and that actually does give us a bit of extra air. And what it'll allow us to do is interrupt the amount of time spent with a pause, so that we can get 2 A presses as quick as possible and get a bunch of height. And we're gonna take advantage of that a lot in the next stage. We took advantage of it a little bit if you guys are paying attention. But yeah, no, it's fun pause hover challenge. A lot of the SAT runners know it well, but we'll get there. Again, we have this elevator, nice fun auto scroller where we're just gonna sit here, get some extra chains, get as many as we need. Again, this point requirement can be pretty hefty, but yeah, no, this was a very fun stage. Like right before the auto scroller, a bunch of like the cool like technical fun movement stuff is like right before it, so it's cool.
Yeah, and
We
this is
got it. We're
the
gonna get a few
yeah.
more points later coming up here.
Yeah, it's the inverse of Radical Highway now. There's just a million points right at the end that all cost a little bit of time to get. So I actually don't need any of them. I'll shoot this dude right in front of me. But like those 3 enemies you saw right there, those are 500 points each. But you can't shoot them straight away. You have to let them go behind you and then shoot them. So there's just a ton of points, but they all take a little bit of time to get. So it's a very comfy stage in A ranks because you can kind of just do whatever you want and you can always get bailed out.
Yep. Yeah. No. Super nice in that way. And now we have weapons bed coming up here. And just to share a bit of information, I actually did not know for a while. So it's really funny. So weapons bed, we see all these enemies, and we get just a ton of these point bonuses. And there's we're just gonna get a bunch of these perfects. So one thing I just literally never noticed, just because I mean I never really did A rank runs, and it's not something I'm gonna notice as a casual, is these enemies only give you 20 points as opposed to the normal 100. So I always was curious about why the point requirement for weapons bed was always lower than Lost Colonies, despite it being a shorter stage and just all the enemies around here. But that's why the those like enemies that are like just kind of like standing still sitting there are only 20 points. So you are essentially relying on getting a lot of these like perfect chains all over the place. So we're just going to see as we're on these aircraft carriers, which fun fact also give you speed shoe speed while you're on them. We'll just getting as much of these chains as possible, going as fast as possible. We're going to do a cool little thing. Get a bit of extra points off of that shooting while getting the chain off of those two. It does pretty... Pause over challenge. Yeah, so now we're going to get through here. There's a fun pause over here. Oh my goodness, you went for this. And we get it. You're just good.
Speed shoes again, because we're going to be slowing down a little bit, so we want... And going off of the aircraft carrier. If you just go slightly off, like over to here, you don't have the speed shoes speed. So the speed shoes is actually good, because it will get you back up to speed faster. Okay.
So super nice. Shout out to the jump scare guy. It's great. Okay, but yeah, no, that is it for weapons bed again. So point requirement, didn't say 30K, but yeah, no, this is gonna look pretty good.
Yeah, we're into boss rush territory now, so we've just had a bunch of stages back to back, but there's 14 stages and 8 bosses, and so now pretty much after every stage is going to be a small boss. One of the smallest of all now is Tails 1. It's just very simple, we just shoot him 4 times.
Yeah, we do a little bit of like movement to like make him do certain things. So it's gonna be like, he's just kind of like stand still, and Drums just kind of circle around him, waiting for the invincibility frames to run out, and we just hit him. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, it's fine. Very simple.
Yeah, all of the character fights, the bosses have 2 seconds invincibility frames every time, like a full 120 frames. So you want to try and get into like a 121 frame cycle, basically, is like what a task would do. And it is just like kind of psyching yourself out, like, is he ready? Should I shoot? Because obviously you have to also think about the distance. You've got, oh, I forgot to set yellow safes.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so in this stage we're going to be doing Hintless yet again, and this is where it starts getting really fun. Okay, green ping. Okay, it's going to be down here somewhere. The reason... Oh, okay, I think I know what it is.
Do we get this piece again?
Yeah, we had this yesterday. So the reason it's so fun is because the stage is so cramped together. And so you can have a ping from anywhere, and it could be in a million places, just different rooms, just anything really. What one is yellow already? Is it this guy? No. Yellow piece 2. Am I going crazy?
Is it close on a big box?
I guess if it's not here, then probably. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay.
Got a ring. Okay, piece 3 this way. Nope. Okay, I'll check this way. Oh. Oh, wait. Wow, what a set.
Oh, wow. Okay. Not bad.
So, the Hintless definitely affected the play there. That set would be really good otherwise. 18,000 is a lot of points. The point requirement here is only 12,000, shockingly. Because, it's a 5-minute timer, so you have to get the pieces pretty quickly. And depending on how fast you get the pieces, gives you a different point bonus for collecting the piece. And every piece is 500 points just as a flat thing. So 12,000 for an A rank is ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, it's so unbelievably low. It's just literally grab a piece and you have it, basically. Just don't die.
Well, even for speedrunners, you can die. If you die after the piece 2, which is what people will do, if they have a bad piece, then they're still going to get an A rank. It's very silly. It's the same deal for Egg Quarters, and for Pumpkin Hill, and for Death Chamber. As long as you finish the stage with the result screen time of under 1 minute. Or 1 minute flat, of course.
Yeah. Alrighty then, we have White Jungle, another shadow stage. This stage is very fun despite some of the jank. These like forest stages can be really weird in terms of like the physics and stuff and just kind of like messing you up a bit. But yeah, no, this stage can be really fun. Oh, I love that like starting movement of kind of like the storage under the thing after the first initial vine. It'd be really cool. This is a very similar stage to the regular speedrun. There's not gonna be a ton of differences. There's gonna be a bomb capsule to kill a lot of enemies coming up right now, and then immediately afterwards. We generally do this like weight hop coming up, where we jump on top of this weight as it's rising. We're just gonna storage under it, as opposed instead. And then other than that, there's gonna be one more thing coming up. We're gonna grab another invincibility capsule coming up here in this room. Nice. But other than that, it's just gonna be a lot of movement. Nice shoot up, whatever. So here we go. Yeah, no, nice fun little wall in for our troubles as well. But yeah, no, again, invincibility doubles the amount of points we get. So again, every ring, enemies killed, box broken, we have some extra points. So what we saw Drum do there is if you actually storage into that spring at the right timing, you can actually like go further and skip the spring after the fact, which saves what, about 2 seconds, right?
It feels like an eternity.
it feels forever. It's yeah. Well, yeah, to kill that gold beetle there. Actually, we look very good on points. That's why Jungle has been pretty good.
Yeah, 136. Definitely the loop skip that I kind of like popped off a little about is very tough. It's not random, but for a single segment run, it might as well be. And that kind of saved it a little. The intro wasn't too good. A lot of the A rank stuff is pretty easy to do the maths for. Because you might think like, oh, A rank maths, I'm bad at maths. One thing that I think about maths for this kind of stuff is that I'm going to take two numbers, like 34 plus 17. It's 51. But here's the thing. It's always 51. You never have to always do the math, just know it's 51. And so for these stages, like a lot of the point requirements, they're going to be like a flat 1,000. And every 50 seconds after a minute, you lose 1,000 points of time bonus. So at 1 minute you'll get 10,000. At a minute 50 you'll get 9,000. For that stage there, White Jungle and many others like Radical Highway, if you just think I'm going to get 150, then from there you just need to subtract 9,000 from the total point requirement, which is 14k in both stages, and so it's just 5k that you need in the top left. 5k and 150, and that's it. And if you know you're going to do a bit better than 150, you can get a bit less than 5k. If you're going to do a little bit worse, you need to do a bit better than 5k. So the math isn't crazy. It gets crazy in Cosmic Wall, but that's about it.
Yeah. So here we go. Hope you guys like driving. This stage, it's Route 280. It's pretty. It's a little longer than Route 101. For those who don't know. There is, if you're not doing this little snaking, drifting thing that Drum's doing right now, you will actually have your like acceleration capped, and so you will like eventually slow down. So yeah, what we do is we wait till we get to like a downhill or get a boost, and then we start drifting, and we just try to keep the speed as much as possible. That's the stage. So that's again where drum's looking pretty good right now. That like those two cars right there on that turn is like one of the first hurdles, like first real hurdles of Route 280. There's like a bunch of weird car cycles you can get that can be pretty tough to get. As long as we stay on this pretty good pace, there will be a funny little red car that a lot of the Dark Story runners know about. That can and will mess us up a lot of the time, but hopefully not in this run.
By doing the faster ring route that I will try to do here, you can actually get a more favourable cycle for the red car. So I'm going to be saving a boost. It's all about the amount of rings that you collect determines how many boosts you get and when. So this turn right here. Okay, cool. I didn't hit the blue car, so I didn't slow down very much, so I'm going to save this boost. And that means I'm not going to be too much in the path of the red car. Obviously, I still was, but it only makes it slightly easier. So now I'm going to just save this boost and use it at a different time. And just keep using the downslopes to keep my speed up. It does take a lot of ring management to do this, though. So you can feel free to take back over Soup.
Yeah, and so that our last little bit here, the Tunnel of Love there. You saw those two cars. There, obviously, Drum is played long enough to where we know if we're on this kind of cycle what the cars are going to be doing. But we obviously don't have a lot of space to work with there. So that's our last little bit of stuff that can take over, and that it can just slow you down and mess up Route 280. Obviously, Drum had the boost there, so thankfully we wouldn't have lost a ton of time. But this Route 280 has actually been quite good from the Drum Basher. So we're going to go through, and again, this is the last little bit. Just nice straightaway before we get into Skyrail, and just going into Skyrail. Yeah, this is the stage that we were talking about earlier, where it's like another one of like the stages that can just kind of like kill a run. I wouldn't say it's as like hard, but the point route that Drum does and that a few others do just doesn't leave basically any room for error. So messing it up is just almost always a restart, and so that can be really rough. Nice 241.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like the end of Radical Highway that I mentioned, except it's the entire stage. You can do a different route that doesn't lose too much time, that gets basically an extra 1,000. But come on. Speedrunning.
Speedrunning, we love it. So yeah, no, this is really cool. But yeah, no, so basically the thing is, what we're going to do, there's going to be a few enemies to kill, and there's also going to be a few awesomes to get on these rails. The very stylish, so there we go, nice close-up on Shadow as we go. So we're going to get 3 of those. That was the first of the 2, and that's, partially why it can be a little rough. So we're going to do these fun pumpkin jumps, jump off this rail over to the left, kill that enemy, grab a few rings, spin dash jump off of these pumpkins. Again, a lot of these just look really similar to the speed run with just a few side quests sprinkled in, and the side quests can be a little fun. So yeah, we don't. Over there was actually a gold beetle that we could get, which is like kind of like part of the backup. But again, as long as we're playing pretty well, oh my goodness, that was a little rough.
I didn't know you could stand there.
I didn't know either. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Last all get, under a minute. We have it.
Yeah, the awesomes are very frame tight, and the first one's like the easiest, I think, because there's a pretty good visual cue, but the other 2 are just harder, and it's exactly like the awesome that I failed in Radical Highway. You just clench, like, please let me hit it, please.
Yeah, especially the second one, because the second one, I think, is it based off the speed? It might not give you the awesome, so like you want to make sure you're fast on it, and so just making sure that you're when you're jumping from that top rail to the bottom rail, you want to make sure that you're kind of like timing it well so that you have enough speed to kind of do so. And so that can be really tough there and a little scary. But obviously Drum got it. We don't have to worry about it. Egg Golem, shoot the bombs, shoot him. We did it. Mad space, take it away.
Yeah, so this is the fun one. So you might think that I need to do 3 laps of this stage, and yeah, in a worst case scenario, you're right. You can make it down to 2, really, so I'm going to check a free piece here. This would really make things boring. Okay, cool, no free piece. So I'm going to go straight over to this planet and start radar reading. So there's the starting area, and then there's the base, and then there's these 3 planets. So this is the gravity planet. Let's go over to the next planet, the capsule planet, and then up there to the blue one, the holy planet. So generally, like, the radar has like still a decently big area, so I'm just gonna run over here. Okay, no, and no. Okay, so nothing here. There's fewer pieces in Mad Space than in any other stage in the entire game, just because of the game. Well, this stage being unfinished, frankly. They're all there on Dreamcast, but they're all very screwed up. Okay, we have our piece. It is
Red light balcony.
red light balcony. Okay. Don't see this very often. Okay, so wow. Okay, I haven't had much practice of a top piece one, so let's just see if this piece is here. It is. Okay.
Oh, blue light balcony piece 3, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, now we're just gonna be looking and checking for piece 2s.
Yeah. So this could be anywhere. Gosh. And it's here.
What is this? Growing by a rock? Okay.
Yeah. Where is this piece? Jewel growing by a rock. It's so hard to see. Is it?
It's on the other side of the big crystal.
Oh, okay.
And there it is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, okay. That was quite smooth. Wasn't quite expecting that. Yeah, there are only 3 piece 3s that are at the top, and so I usually always check those. I always go up and then check those 3. And one of them was there. What do you know?
That's great. So we did a practice run of this, and it was definitely like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That space. So that was a lot better.
Yeah, worst case scenario is definitely if you get like a base piece 2, because you essentially check the entire map before you get to the base, because all of the platforms are incredibly far away from each other, so you basically have to check each one.
Yeah, and it just takes forever, and like because we're trying to like we're also like doing it deathless. Like you just take the rocket back, and it just takes forever to go even back up. Say if it's again like so obviously we check the top piece 3s, but even if it's kind of like middle, like we're just kind of going and checking and just making a lap, and it could be a really long time to check. But thankfully it went well for us in the run. It was pretty cool. We got a fun piece 3 check there. Blue light balcony can be a really annoying top piece to have to come back to. I mean all of them are, but especially that one. And here we go, Cosmic Wall. This stage is really cool. So this will look a little bit different from the speedrun for those who are just normally used to watching just like regular Dark Story runs, because we will not be going for Swiss cheese, which is the main strat that we go to now. So again, just of course keeping these chains up as much as we can. 80,000 points is the one for today. So we're definitely gonna be there'll be some funny stuff we're gonna do. We don't have to worry about it too much. We obviously still do, just because drum speed running, we're doing it. But we're coming up on another skip. So this is Cosmic Wall skip that we're going to go for. Drum will bail if we don't get it, but I believe that Drum's gonna get it. It's a really cool trick that we're coming up on. We're going to kind of like get to like the side of this building over here. We're gonna hover, come over here, and try to clip out. And this out of bounds can be really tough because you can clip back inbound, or you can hit a kill plane, and
no,
you just kind of have to stay in the middle. Yeah, it is hard to clip out of bounds.
Positioning is very tight. That's not it either. Make it over. Okay. Gosh, I'm normally a little more consistent than this, but it's very hard. Okay, that's it. Okay, and it's very hard just even after you clip, because you have to follow a very small corridor. On your left is inbounds, and on your right is a kill plane that follows you the entire way around. So you need to get past the corridor, and then you can turn right. So, unfortunate that I got that like 4th try. Each failure was about 7 seconds, so I'm losing about 21 seconds. I'm going to have to remember that, because that's an extra 400 points I'm going to need now.
Yes. They're definitely there, but we're definitely gonna have to think about it a little bit. This can be a really cool trick. A bit over to our left, we can kind of like go back in, but because we're going for the A rank, we're actually gonna stop a little early than where we could go. So we're gonna come over here again. Obviously, just as many of these chains as possible, getting as much of these kind of like tights, awesomes, extremes, perfects as we can. There's again a ton of points. There's so many points and stuff to shoot as we get around here. It's all over the place. But again, we're trying to go fast, so we can't just get all of it and just sit there and just try to get point totals. So again, we will have a method to get a ton of points that we won't have to worry about a ton of it, but I'll talk to it as we get there. Again, just this stage can be really cool to play restricted just because there's a bunch of the platforming. The stage has a special gimmick to where it's like low gravity, so the hover actually takes us upwards as opposed to just kind of like letting us fall down. So it is really, really cool to kind of like do some of this like vertical platforming that we don't normally get to do. And so we only have 22k. This is the last auto scroller. What are we gonna do about the points? Point bonus is only 10k. So these little like cylinder things that move up and down, they give you points based on the amount of frames that it's on screen while destroyed. So as Drum destroys these, you're just going to see our point total skyrocket because they're just on the screen for quite a few frames, and it's just going to keep going. It's going to keep going up, and we're going to want, what is it, 70? Yeah, 72k. Yeah. We had. All right.
Yeah, we are just making this by like 1,500. So I definitely need to get some points from this guy. You can lock onto these and you can get 3 cools. I actually was watching Katie's 180 world record the other day, and I think she got 4 cools, and I didn't know you could do that. So I might need to look into that. But I definitely have enough now. You get a very small point requirement, point bonus from this. I'm going to be getting about 6,200 right now, 6,260 I think. Quick maths, there we go.
Yep, that's the math.
Yeah, it's because I know that 355 is 6,500 because that's what I target. So I just had to take 12 seconds away from that. So it's the same every time.
Just do the math, you know. That's what it is. All right. Well, we have another boss in for that separates us from our last stage and last boss. This is Tails 2. This fight, again, just a lot of the boss fights in this game are a lot of just kind of like messing with like the AI, like doing actions and hitting them in ways that, you know, just kind of like make them want to do certain things. And like that's what we can do. This is a little scary, but
that was weird.
You know, it's fine. We got under 20, which is okay. We did it. We did it.
Yeah, getting a 14 on that fight is very hard. I'm definitely used to seeing 18s. That was a weird final phase, losing an extra second, but whatever. It is sub 20.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Final chase. I love this stage. This stage is so cool. And the A rank does not make this. The A rank doesn't make the stage very different. So in the speed run, you would jump off that rail forward instead of this way to just go to the end of the stage. But now we get to play the stage and mess with our favorite mechanic, gravity tubes, which suck until you learn them, and then you just completely nerd out at all of the stuff you can do with them. There's just a bunch of fun knowledge. However, as you can see, this stage is incredibly difficult. This is without a doubt, like if you're like playing through all the stages like skipless or whatever, like the hardest stage of the game, just because there's so much that you have to be ready for, because these gravity tubes can do everything to you, everything possible, because they just work so weirdly. So one thing about the gravity tubes that's super weird is like you can't really spin dash on them. You can like only actually really use 2 cardinal directions, which are up and down. You're constantly spinning around on these, and so it's a lot of like kind of building your route around these gravity tubes and different routes based on like the speed and stuff that you get on them. And for us, we're going to be killing a few extra enemies on the way, and that's basically the only difference here. But this gravity tube section done really well, just looks so cool, and it's really, really satisfying to do. But obviously still really hard. Again, kill some enemies. It's great. So we're going to get up here. Oh my goodness, that ledge grab was terrifying. And we're going to come up to Final Chase mini skip. So we're going to talk a little bit about skewed gravity here, where we get to spin dash off of this. We're just going to kind of hold this up left angle, and there we go. And just kind of carry this all the way over to a later part of the stage. Our height looks very, very good. And yeah, there we go. And just a few more little things going on there. We have a nice little, we're gonna skip the jamming.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, that was really good jam and skip. Oh my goodness. I was like actually like basically like no like extra whatever. So a few more things. Our points are looking good, so we don't even need to take those backup points of killing the enemies and some capsules over there. And one last skewed gravity thing, similar to what we were doing with mini skip coming up, to just skip all of that upper section. And then we're just gonna hit the goal. Uh-oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's still fine.
Yeah, that's one of the only places where a failed pause hover is fine, because some people will just homing attack anyway. Like, that's just the strat they do anyway. I was trying to like do this really weird looking thing where Shadow moves around the tube, just says screw you to gravity. I'm gonna do my own thing. Just flies like to the left, and then you homing attack from around the other side. But I just took a more direct path that didn't even really lose time, apart from like the extra time spent in the pause menu. Okay, time is coming up, by the way.
Yes, we have 5 hits of Sonic 2 coming up, and then that'll be it. Triple homing attacks are the game. A little bit of rhythmical A pressing here, and if we do it right, the fight's just basically about 60 seconds. Yeah, that's time.
Sick. Let's. So that was a 29:33 loadless. So that was probably about a 29:33 RTA, a 29:25, a 39:25 RTA. Let's go.
Nice.
I was thinking that my estimate for this was going to be originally 40 minutes, and I thought, wait a minute, if I'm incorporating hintless hunting, I need to do 45. And still with basically 2 entire radical highways, this is pretty good. The practice run we did yesterday, it was like 1/1,000,000th try Sand Ocean, it was ridiculous. I ended up doing sand walking and then just whistle glitching like 10 times. So this is an improvement. Definitely thank you for letting me run this. This is definitely worthy to show in a marathon, I think. Hopefully we can get more people interested in the category. I just think it's really cool. You get to play Cosmic War, you get to play Final Chase. What more do you want? And it's just non-arbitrary. You get the A rank like the game tells you to do. It's what you do in 180 Emblems too. 180 Emblems has definitely got a lot more popularity lately. Back in the days when it was just Talon, pretty much. We're not there anymore, so that's cool. I'm like the only person with, I think, sub 27 on the leaderboards. Surely Katie has got it, probably Deku as well. The leaderboard's definitely a little barren for this. If anyone ever wants any help with this category, I have a complete walkthrough on it using the current world record, just to say like, here's what I did, here's what you should do. It's like 50 minutes long or something. You can find it on YouTube. It's called like Dog Story or Lyric Speedrun Walkthrough or something. I'm also down to give like one-on-one advice to anyone for this category. Well, not I mean just anything in SA2 to be honest, but especially this category. I'll do anything for this category. What about you, Soup?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it's a super fun category to walk. Thank you for letting me commentate this. So like asking as well, like, yeah, no, this is sick thing. Obviously, I like especially like the restricted stuff. So obviously, like I already do like skipless FC and Sand Ocean and like stuff, and I want to do some like restricted runs in the future. But yeah, no, A ranks is definitely something that I would like recommend just kind of like giving a try. Like not even just like in a 180 context. Like it is just something cool to do if you're like not feeling like the main category, if you're like running the game and just like kind of like want to do something different. It is a really like cool category, and like the idea of it to just like get A ranks. And no, I had a great time commentating it.
Yeah, definitely thank you for commentating, reaching out, and well, I reached out to just general people. You said, yeah, I can commentate. Sorry, I burped. And yeah, you were we did a practice run yesterday. I wrote like a whole document of like stuff for each stage. Steve looked at it, definitely did a really good job. Definitely for like running this category, unfortunately the skill floor is like very high. You need to be pretty good to run this. It's not for beginners. But there is like one factor about like people don't want to beat the stage and then find out that they didn't beat it right. Like they didn't get an A rank, they got a B rank. That is definitely is something that's going to happen to you in Cosmic Wall. But in other stages, you're probably going to be fine as long as you like are quite conscious of what's going on, know your backup points. It's just stuff like Cosmic Wall, really, where you just kind of sat on the auto scroller, hoping that you shoot all of the capsules. Because if you miss a capsule, yeesh, it's over. Well, I mean, it's like if you miss 2, I guess. I did miss 1 here, but I also took a lot of points going into it. I was definitely good about destroying a lot of enemies along the way. I've definitely walked into that capsule, that auto scroller with 2,000 less points before and made it out alive. But I needed pretty much all of the capsules. It's so hard to hit them when they're off screen. In fact, even when they're on screen, it's just stupid. That's the one bad thing about this category, actually. I hate Cosmic Wall auto-scroller.
Yeah, no, it can be really tough, especially like when you do it, like cut it as close as you do there. Like obviously, like you can like make it a little easier on yourself if you want to. But yeah, no, it's it can be a little rough when again like so many of these like later mistakes in the stage can just be like, well, let's restart.
Yeah, and there's just not very many situations where Like you can back yourself up. Like if you die and you spawn at a checkpoint in the middle of the stage, that you can save it. There's just not many of those in general, and then that's just not really applicable in Dark Story. It is in 180 emblems, where it's just a complete marathon, but in a more sprint-based category like this, the run's kind of dead, which sucks. I know when I was first running this category back in 2019, I lost 3 minutes in Lost Colony because I just forgot to play the auto-scroller. I forgot to shoot enemies. And I had to reset, and I lost 3 minutes, and then I couldn't beat that time for like a year. This category is insanely difficult when you're like even a mid-level runner, I think. That is the one thing about it.
Phenomenal. But you're showing off like just amazing skill on this one, and we have a donation here that says the same. I got a $10 donation from Alistair that says, "Good luck, runners. Happy birthday, Sonic. Loved trying to get the A ranks casually back on the GameCube, and it is amazing to see it speedrun. The routing is fascinating. Thanks, runners."
Thank you.
A big thank you, Alistair, to that as well. But yeah, like you've absolutely nailed this run, Drum. Like, and Superior, your commentary there, on point, fantastic. Any final shoutouts from both of you?
I guess my shout is to Superior. He's always so good at commentary. He's pretty new to the community, but we have like for the tournaments we do and such. There's a few people that we always want commentary for the final day, such as like Garrett, Aura, Dawn, Savik, and Superior's definitely joined that ranking. Definitely love having him around. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the praise. But I think like again, just shout out to Sacer. It's been really fun. Like again, I'm relatively new compared to most people. Now I wouldn't actually call myself new. Now that it's like it has been a little bit, like a year and a half at this point. So I mean, not like that new anymore. But it's been great. Love, shout outs to the Sacer people and all that. It's fun. Thank you, Drum, again for letting me commentate. It's about it. All I have to say.
Awesome. Remember, folks, make sure you follow both our runner and our commentator here for more Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, for more awesome commentary. And of course, stay right here because we are going to continue on with the Sonic's Birthday Blast. Don't forget, we are raising money for abled gamers, as well as we had come in there. We're going to be setting up for our next run, which is Sonic 06, and you are getting the full shebang. The entire game. It is going to be an all stories run by Reverie. However, I'm going to be joining you all in the chat as my time on the hosting mic is coming to an end, and we're going to have Proasec taking over. We're going to get ourselves set up for that, so we'll be back very, very soon. But right now, take this time, stand up, grab a drink, grab a snack, because we will be right back.
See you, everyone.